let's talk about my top 5 books I've read so far in 2025. Now, this one may not surprise you since I was absolutely raving about it after I read it, but my very favorite book I've read this year is Project Hail Mary. This book really took me by surprise with how much I loved it, and I listened to the audiobook, which was so good. I highly recommend listening to the audiobook if you haven't yet. And I'm so excited for the movie. I am 100% going to be watching it opening weekend. So like I said, this was my favorite. The rest of the books are in no particular order. They're just ones that I also really loved. Okay, the next one I want to talk about is Till Summer Do Us Part. This book was so much fun. It had me laughing over and over again. Megan Quinn has definitely become one of my favorite authors. This book was just all around a good time, and it has one of my favorite tropes, the fake dating trope. Well, technically fake marriage, but same thing. If you're looking for a really good funny romance, give this one a read. Another book I absolutely loved reading this year was Sunrise on the Reaping. This is part of the Hunger Games series, and it's all about Haymitch and his story in his Hunger Games. This answered so many questions I had about Haymitch, and now it completely makes sense why he is the way he is. This book was heartbreaking, but I thought it was so well written, and I was absolutely hooked from page 1 all the way through. Loved it. The next book I want to talk about is Atmosphere. This is a recent read for me, and I loved it so much. This book gave me the worst book hangover. I'm still trying to recover from it. I don't cry very easily in books, and this book had me tearing up so many times. It made me feel so many things. So phenomenal. And I tend to really like books that have a science aspect to it, so I think that's what made me like this even more. But even if you don't really like science, the story in itself was incredible. Definitely recommend you give this one a read. And the last book in my top 5 is Blood Over Brighthaven. This is a standalone fantasy, and it was so unique. I loved the magic system. I loved where the story went. It went to a completely unexpected place for me. If you're looking for a really great fantasy book, give this one a read. Okay, and I have one honorable mention I want to share with you. Is Jurassic Park. I read this at the beginning of the year with my husband, and I think that's part of why I loved it so much, but also it just brought back so much nostalgia. I love the Jurassic Park movies, so finally reading the book was just so much fun. But the book was so much more different than the movies that it was like a whole new story. If you like the Jurassic Park movies and haven't read the book yet, totally give it a read. I think you're going to be surprised with all the new and different content in here, but it still gives you that amazing Jurassic Park movie vibes. So those are my top 5 books of 2025 so far, and my honorable mention. If you've read any of these books, let me know what you thought of them, and also tell me what are your top 5 books of 2025 so far.